So there you have it, complete failure. I put that hive back together and I took the queen, I freed her from the box. That was Thursday. The next day would have been Friday. It would have been a week that she had been in the box. And just for the people who would have probably said, well, you didn't follow the instructions. You're supposed to leave her in the box and you're supposed to let her out after she lays the eggs and do all that. That's what I did. So, you know, the box was full of eggs on Thursday when I checked it. I went back on Friday. I didn't film it, but I went back on Friday and I checked the box. There was still eggs in there on Friday. And I waited all the way up until Monday, the following Monday, which is, you know, assuming that they were removing the eggs and putting them in the comb, which is they were. I mean, I've showed you pictures of that. If she had laid those eggs on Thursday, then we would have had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days. We should have had larvae in those Nicot cups on Monday. Well, I checked it on Monday and all the eggs in those Nicot cups were gone. They had basically moved them out, which is, you know, I mentioned that in the video in the beginning, that happens, and I mentioned that in the video that happens, that they remove the eggs as she's laying them. And I don't know if it's just because it's a strong hive and their workers are so good, but this seems to be the thing that happens to me over and over and over and over. I will honestly say I have produced queens with the Nicot system, but it just seems like the hives that I want to produce the queens from, those really good strong hives, they won't put up with it. They don't like it. You know, it works for some people. I know it does. There's videos on YouTube where they do exactly what I did. They leave the queen in the box, and the reason that they do that is for the reasons that I mentioned. It reduces the competition. They know where the queen is, and it works for them. There's also people who leave her in the box till she lays. They remove the queen excluder, put everything back together, and come back and they have larvae. It just does not work for me, and I think that's the reason why I want to make this video. Is everybody sees the Nicot system and they see these success stories, and they think, man, I'm going to do that. I want to raise queens. But this is the flip side. This is the problem. This is a problem that you may run into, is that it's not a natural setting, and the bees just, in my instance, they just don't like it. They don't like it at all. It takes the queen a while to lay, and once she does lay, the bees they just move the eggs out and they put them in the comb. So take that into consideration. I'll be doing some videos later on in the year on grafting. I think grafting is a much better method, and you know, despite what some people say, you can still graft without being able to see the larva, and they make glasses and magnifying glasses that can help you with that as well. But I just think grafting is a much better method, and if it hadn't been for that, here we are. You know, that was Monday when I checked. It's now Tuesday, the next day. You know, I'm looking at having queens hatching out, later this week. If I would have grafted, I would have queens hatching out, and now I'm sitting here with nothing. It's been a cold day. I just filmed a video on my ladders because there's nothing else for me to do. So I've lost a week and a half to 2 weeks of queen rearing because of that system. So just think about that whenever you decide you're going to buy the Nicot system, and if you think that's the easy way to do it. It's not always what they say it is.